Guys, deluded, I'm back again. YouTube's N'Golo Kante, YouTube's Lucas Torreira, the best YouTuber at this and the buffest YouTuber at this. Yeah, man, back again now. Krystian Bielik. Now we know he arrived for around 2.53 million pounds from a from a Polish-based side. He arrived with a lot of fanfare, a lot of promise, and as you could see, when he was 15, 16 at the time, he was composed. He was playing men's football and excelling, and it looked like it would come to Arsenal, be the typical, Arsenal of recent years. Maybe not so much, but previously we get these players that are kind of unknown. They become competent players, and definitely at academy level, while he hasn't been perfect, he's been one of the standouts. Slowly converted into a centre half from a DM/central midfielder. And I've told you guys a story about in my own scouting ambitions how I ripped almost every scout of every Premier League club. The only one that replied was an Arsenal scout, Bob Barbara. Shout out to him. He said the club was pretty confident about Bielik, which I take his words for it, because he said a lot of stuff that I can't actually speak about that's actually come true in a positive light. So shout out to him. But surely with Chambers allegedly joining Fulham on loan, you'd like to think it's kind of now or never for Krystian. I personally believe such has been the trajectory, definitely of the last few years, of many talented young players leaving the club. I think he'll join Kelechi Nwakwe, Dragomir and Jeff and all of these players in departing the club. He's 20 years of age. He's 21 in January. He doesn't need to be the finished product, but what he does need now is a show of faith. What he does need is first team football. What he does need to know is that he can realistically feature. And at Arsenal, there's even the case, I've said it myself, for another centre-half to come into the club. A lot of the centre-halves are not convincing at the club, but they're ahead of him in the pecking order. Wenger rated him highly. He made 2 appearances under Wenger. I don't know if Unai Emery rates him, but all I know is that he didn't go to Singapore. He's been with the 23s, and he hasn't been involved in any stretch of the imagination in regards to first team stuff this season. But surely with Chambers going Fulham, he should get a look in now. At least, if nothing more, to get a space in the side. I can't understand why Unai Emery couldn't like him, to be fair, because he's played as a defensive midfielder. He's a centre-half, and he can play as a half-back. If you remember rightly, you saw Chambers doing that when it was free at the back, stepping into midfield. Bielik can do that. He's a centre-half by trade. He's composed. He's consistent. He's composed. He can bring the ball out of defence. He can ball play. He can play on the right or the left. For me, the only thing that he's lacking is concentration because of the lack of senior levels. At times, he likes to play a bit too much, does overcomplicates things, and which he shouldn't really do in defence. Maybe marking, because if I remember even the pre-season games he's played for Arsenal, marking's let him down. So just concentration. You'd like to think he heads out on loan again. I personally believe this club has been very lax to his development. He's been very unlucky with injuries, especially the last 18 months where he's barely played. He didn't play for Warsaw, and he returned later on in the campaign to play for our under-23s. But I just feel with the lax not promoting him to the first team, having him on the cusps, not picking out proper loans apart from the Birmingham one, I do feel it's a lax approach, and I do think he's one we end up selling, to be fair. I hope to be wrong, because I do believe he's going to have a decent career at some level. But sure, I don't know whether he should get a look in. I don't know whether I'm calling for Unai Emery to ask him to have a look in. I don't know if I'm saying if I'm Krystian Bielik, I should be confident about getting chances, which I should be if there's a space open. Then I know if I play well. But by the same logic, if I'm Krystian, I'd sit down and think, yeah, I came here under the guise of Arsenal and all of that stuff. I've played 2 appearances here. I've not really had a look in. There's Socrates, Mustafi, some might be sold. Mustafi I'm referring to. Koscielny's injured, but he's still there. Monreal can play centre-half. There's a lot of holding, Mavropanos. There's a lot of centre-halves ahead of me. There's a new manager that's come to the club. I haven't been involved at first-team level in pre-season, so does he rate me? No doubt there's probably been offers to take him on loan already if there isn't any already, because I'm so sure I saw Galatasaray wanted to buy him. Do I consider my future here? I wanted to make it Arsenal. If you look at all his Instagram posts, all you see him is motivational speeches in regards to playing for Arsenal. But sometimes you have to bite the bullet, and he's at the age now where he doesn't have to be the finished article, but he needs to honestly be part of a first team squad, or at least play for someone or somewhere where he has an honest chance of starting or being included on the match day. He probably heads back on loan and things like that, and he's contracted till 2020, I believe. So we'll see how it happens. But if I was in Emery, I'd probably promote him. Where's the tactics board? Purely because, if we play 2 centre halves, it's going to be an issue, people. It will be an issue if we play 2 centre halves. There'll be a lack of game time. But he could be used. Obviously, there's Torreira, there's obviously Torreira, Xhaka, and all of these players, and Guendouzi. So I'm not saying he should be ahead of them, but there's several ways he could be played. Firstly, if it's free, firstly, obviously, oh come on, pick up, man. Oh. Firstly, obviously, it could be a back two. He could be part of the back two. He can actually fill in that right back, but he need to be taught. Obviously, if it's in a back two, he'd have to show some serious consistency to get games and them things, people. But if it's a back three, surely Unai Emery's got to consider him. He's a good ball player. He'll step into midfield. Obviously, he's not the best of examples, but he'll step into midfield. He'll do the ball playing. He's skilled with carrying it from the back and trying to spray passes. He used to be a DM or midfielder, so he'll be able to do that in abundance, stepping out. Don't you remember that's what Unai Emery wanted to do with Chambers around the Boreham Wood fixture early on in pre-season? Surely he's someone to do that. Obviously, we've got a lot of midfield options. But he could equally slot in midfield. Imagine him and Torreira at the base protecting stuff. Or Guendouzi there, them lot there. Like, he'll just add to it. You could even use him as a ball-winning midfielder further up, similar to how... What's the PSG's name, man? He's left PSG now. Karaji, what's it? You know, I can't say his name, man, but you know who I'm talking about. The ex-Seville PSG guy. How he's more or less a tough tackler, a physical presence in midfield. He can do that. Obviously, he lacks speed and he probably lacks a bit of mobility, but there's a role there for him. Like, surely there's a role there for Bielik. Now, that's me looking from a selfish Arsenal point of view, or if I was Unai Emery, a management point of view, how could I use different players or utilise different players, especially if we're not going to bring in a quality centre-half. If I'm Krystian, I'm considering leaving, because before I even get a chance, there's Koscielny, when he's fit, probably ahead of you in the starting lineup, in the pecking order. Sorry, Socrates, on the basis he's bought and more experience, better than you. Mustafi might very well leave this club ahead of you. Mavropanos ahead of you. Holding ahead of you. If we bring in another centre half, that's 6 centre halves ahead of him before he's even got a look in. Obviously, and there's also Ben Chafe as well, who's probably got a decision to make, who could probably be used in exactly the same sort of role. So yeah. Obviously, I see us selling him because 2.5 million at the end of the day is nothing to the club. If the club make that back or make a 5 or a 3, they'll say it's a profit. They don't really care in that regards. So we'll see what happens in it. But I'd definitely give him a chance. But if I was him, I'd depart the club. Honest to God, to be honest with you. Guys, deluded. Like I said, he arrived here at 16. He's now 20, turning 21 in January. He's got a lot to ask. But on that note, guys, deluded, get in the comments, subscribe and do the rest. I'm out. Thank you for watching, and you guys know I'm the best YouTuber, especially specifically to Arsenal. These other guys can have the resources and the fans and funny things flying around and all of these sort of things, but I am the best, not because I know everything, not because I'm always right, because I tell the truth. People don't like the truth. Anyways, guys, deluded, man. Bang.